Right now in Celina, just north of Frisco, there's a $4.5 billion development underway that's about to change everything you think you know about North Texas growth. Talking about 7,000 single family homes, 4,000 multifamily units, and a master plan community with commercial and mixed use spaces that could reshape the entire area. Now picture living with access to the new 1876 Country Club, 7 amenity centers, and a golf course that's already being talked about for pro tournaments. And the homes, they're set to be priced more competitively than anything else around. So what could this mean for Celina's future? Now, when you look at what's happening in Celina right now, it's hard not to draw comparisons to how Frisco exploded onto the map, and Legacy Hills is positioned to be a turning point for the city of Celina. This is one that could put Celina in the same conversation as the fastest growing communities in North Texas, which it's already reached that designation sometime last year. But Rex Glendenon, who's played a pretty major role in shaping both Frisco and Celina, he said it outright, which this could be Centurion American's top grossing project ever, and Celina's growth will mirror what happened in Frisco. Now, if we talk about the numbers, because the scale here is really different from anything that Celina's ever seen before, and Legacy Hills covers about 3,200 acres. Remember, Fields is only 2,500 acres, and with that, you've got 7,000 single family homes, 4,000 multifamily units, and a master plan that goes way beyond just housing. 366 acres are set aside just for mixed use development, plus 100 acres dedicated to commercial. So that means retail, restaurants, businesses, entertainment, all built into the community from day one. So it's really set up to and designed to make Legacy Hills feel like a place where you can live, work, and play, really without having to leave your whole neighborhood. But what really sets Legacy Hills apart is its location. So the development sits near Legacy Drive and Celina Parkway, and it's getting direct access to the new Dallas North Tollway extension. So if you've seen how Frisco's growth took off after the tollway expanded 2 decades ago, you know how big of a deal this is, and that kind of connectivity isn't really just convenient, it's the backbone of how the suburbs in North Texas become destination. It means shorter commutes, easier access to jobs, and a steady flow of people and businesses moving in. So the infrastructure piece is what made Frisco's rise really possible, and Legacy Hills is following that exact blueprint. And of course, with a project this size, there are some challenges. Celina's schools and roads were built for really a much smaller town, and the city is about to see its population double as Legacy Hills and other developments start to move forward. So that's a lot of pressure really for any city to handle. Now, the leadership in Celina has already started planning ahead. They've negotiated a pre-annexation development with an agreement with Centurion American to address the key needs of highways and utilities. So it's not really just about building new homes, it's about making sure that the whole city can keep up with what's about to come. And if you look back at Frisco's early days, it wasn't always the polished city that you see now. There were growing pains. You had traffic backups, you had schools scrambling to keep up, you had neighborhoods popping up overnight, but Frisco really turned those challenges into strengths by planning ahead and really investing in the infrastructure. Glendenon also pointed out that Celina is on a similar path, but with the advantage of learning from what worked and what didn't work in places like Frisco and Prosper. So Legacy Hills' plan is really even more ambitious from the start, with the focus on creating a complete community where people want to stay really for the long term. And if we zoom out from this, it's happening at a time when really North Texas is growing faster than almost anywhere else in the country. So the ripple effects of this from Dallas, from Fort Worth and Plano have really pushed all the demand north, and Celina is right in the path of that next wave. And so the difference with Legacy Hills is that Celina isn't really just reacting to growth, they're trying to set the pace. And with this project, the city is showing it can be proactive, not just keeping up, but actually leading the way in how these new communities are built. Now, of course, affordability is another challenge that's front and center for anybody trying to buy a home in Texas right now. Centurion American and its founders really wanted to use a strategy that would keep Legacy Hills accessible, especially for middle-class families that have been priced out elsewhere. So they positioned 4-bedroom homes to start between $400,000 to $450,000 to be more affordable than the nearby developments. And so the key to attracting buyers who want space without paying the premium you see in places like Frisco and Prosper. And that's not just really a marketing move, it's a real attempt to offer some value at a time when affordability is a big concern amongst people. But even with the funding and pricing lined up, Legacy Hills needed builders who could really actually deliver on that vision. And within 60 days, Centurion American really secured commitments from 6 major builders. And if you'd like to know more about those builders, make sure you reach out to us in the description below. But when you get that type of commitment early on from 6 major builders, it really builds a lot of confidence in the community, and more will be added and are being added. So this really gave Legacy Hills its foundation needed to move at scale. So it's not common to see this type of alignment on a timeline this aggressive impressive, and it shows that the project isn't just ambitious really on paper, it's really set up to actually happen. And of course, you got the amenities, which are another piece of the picture that sets Legacy Hills apart. The 1876 Country Club is a $16.6 million investment that goes really beyond what you see in most communities. So it'll feature elevation changes on several holes and 5 water hazards, which isn't really something that you find everywhere. So the plan is to make the course good enough to host Corn Ferry tour events and bring national attention to both the club and the community. And of course, these types of amenities aren't really just about luxury, they're about making Legacy Hills a destination, which is the kind of place that draws people in and keeps property values strong. And if you're a homeowner and you want to see how this will affect property values in your area, let's jump in the computer and take a quick look. So you can see back in June of 2020, the median home price was about $357,000. You fast forward to 5 years ahead in June of 2025, and we're looking at $551,000 as the median price now in Celina, which is still much lower than Frisco and Prosper. And that's still, though, about a 54% increase, about $194,000 in median equity in your home if you purchase somewhere in the 2019-2020 timeframe. Now, if you purchased around 2022, you can see this has mostly leveled out. Year over year, prices are down about 18% right now. But if you look at all indications, I mean, we're still heading in an upward trend in Celina. But yes, prices are starting to level out, come down just a little bit. So, if you've been looking for a break again, you're going to get in much more affordable in Celina. Now, if you're a home seller in that area and you're considering making a move, this is something that you've got to consider, is that price trends are heading downward right now. Now, if you were to wait that out, who knows where they're going to go. Now, we know that the Trump administration right now, I think their next big fight is going to be on interest rates for home ownership. He's now gotten through his big bill, the big beautiful bill, right? And so that is off the table now. I mean, he was really focused on that the last couple of months. Now he's raising a lot of noise about home prices. And if he brings interest rates down, that's going to bring home values up. Now, as a home owner, and if you're thinking about selling, that kind of puts you in this catch-22. Do you try to get out sometime before home prices may go lower, or do you kind of hang on whenever interest rates may come down, and that could drive home prices back up as demand shifts back into the market? We do know that we have people making moves on both sides right now, and as a home seller, your number one marketing strategy is always going to be the price of your home. So if it's priced correctly, we are seeing some instances even in this market with multiple offers on homes that are priced correctly. So we know the demand is still out there. It's just sitting on the sideline. I mean, we have between 30 to 40 people as far as buyers just kind of hanging on the sideline right now as well. We have multiple that are pulling the trigger for whatever reason, different life situations, work situations, that they're going ahead and taking that next step. But you can see, I mean, again, if you bought within the last 2 years and you have to sell right now, it's not an ideal time. So you got to take these factors into consideration. Even at the 3-year mark, then it's really difficult. Usually it takes about 3 years in a normal real estate market to even break even if you were to try to sell a home 3 years later, unless you were in some very high demand, high appreciating area. Of course, we know post-pandemic that drove a significant surge, but prices are still hanging much higher than they were. Will they ever get back down to pre-pandemic levels? I mean, that's the question to be. So you've got some people out there that believe prices are going to drop even more, and then you've got some that don't believe that at all. But if I were to pull up a map of all the development that's happening in Celina, I'll just ask you this question. Do you think home prices are going to be more or less in the next 5 to 10 years? Again, if you have been around the Dallas area and you saw anything that happened in Frisco over the last 25 years, I would assume you would say, hey, I wish I would have bought property in Frisco 25 years ago. Again, I remember in high school in 1998, I drove up to Frisco because I cleaned floors for Chief Auto Parts, and there was one store up there, and I thought, why would anybody live up here in Frisco? It's so far, and now it's the new hub, right? Dallas Fort Worth will become Dallas Frisco Fort Worth. Frisco's the new hub, and Celina's within 10 to 15 minutes. So a lot of people are working in Frisco and the Plano area, but look at this map. This is Celina. The blue is, completed or near completion on housing developments. The red is what's coming, either what's coming or what's under construction right now. Look at this. Look at Legacy Hills. Legacy Hills is this entire section all throughout here. 3,200 acres. Again, that is what, 700 acres more than Fields in Frisco. Look at that golf course right in the middle, all the housing, all the open space, 6,900 lots. And then look at what's close by. Robinson, you got Robinson, 605 acres. You got Razor at 3,000 lots. You've got Alana Ranch at 1,800 lots. Serenade at 1,300 lots. Ramble at 2,600 lots. Hubbard at 760. I mean, all these developments, all this around downtown Celina is going to be pretty cool, which is going to be the cottages, the Heights, North Square, the ranch at Uptown, Glendenning. All of this is going to be really, really cool developments. I'm really excited about some of these around downtown Celina. So again, if you're selling right now, you have to also consider that you're competing with all of this new construction that's coming in, and there's only more and more that's coming in. Again, Celina's at a population of around 60,000 right now, and they're permitted for about 378,000. So that just tells you the growth trajectory that they're going to be headed towards. And again, if we look at days on market, let's look at average days on market. I mean, to sell 72 right now, I mean, that is still not bad. I mean, people got conditioned in 2021 and 22 trying to of selling a home in 1 to 2 weeks or sometimes days. But 72, which is just about two and a half months, is not bad. Remember, in a normal market back before pre-pandemic, it used to take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to sell a house, and that was perfectly normal, and people didn't freak out if their home didn't sell immediately. I mean, after 2 or 3 months, any home seller is going to get a little antsy. But again, it is what it is. But 72 is still not bad for the average. The median is actually at 44, but I like to look at the average. Percentage of original list price, 93.4%. Something else to consider is that where you price your home at, they're either going to come in, buyers are either going to come in a little bit lower, or they're going to ask for concessions. So you got to be prepared for that as well. But overall, those are all the types of things that we have in our discussions with you, because everybody's situation is completely unique. And overall, it just depends on what is really the major need for you and your family and what's most important. And of course, we can work through a strategy on anything in any type of market. And we make it work, whether you're selling or buying, or you have to do both. So the main thing is that if you want a free home evaluation, you can check the description or on the screen to see what your home is worth. It's not 100% accurate. You need someone like myself or my partner Travis to really dig in and look behind the numbers and really drill down to your specific neighborhood, which we're happy to do. And then you can reach out, shoot us a text if you're interested in that type of discussion. And if you want to see how the new Baylor Hospital in Frisco is going to change the landscape there as well, check out this video.